How the country Italy became involved in World War I. Italy waited to see how the war played out for a while and then decided to side with a triple alliance with Britain and France. Italy joined the war because they had signed a secret Treaty of London, which is where Britain offered Italy large amounts of land, and Italy took this deal. But they also had to agree to join their side so they had more people fighting in the south and provided military services. Not only were lives lost that were tragic, but also the war costed more than the government had spent in 50 years, and they only had been in the war for 3 years. They had a high inflation and high unemployment economically, and there was also much physical destruction in Italy. Italy's geography also affected the war. Since they were a peninsula, they were cut off from much of the fighting, but they were also very close to Africa, where a lot of fighting also took place. The Russians did not want the British to have any access to the Mediterranean Sea, but when they gained Italy, they had that access. Also, Italy's geography helped the war because they had more southern countries to be on their side. Weapons used or made in Italy during the war was the Fayette Ravelli gun and the Villa Perosa gun. Key people were Mussolini, Italian Prime Minister Vittorio Orlando, who was part of the Big Four, Armando Diaz, High Command as head of the unit's operation under General Luigi, and Luigi Cadorna, built up army against the Austria-Hungary border. The Italian army lost 300,000 fighting troops in Austrian territory, which was the Battle of Caporetto. By the end of the war, 600,000 Italians were dead, 950,000 were wounded, and 250,000 were crippled for life. Italy's allies during the war were the United States, Great Britain, France, and Russia. Its enemies were Austria-Hungary and Germany. Propaganda was used during this because Italy was forced into signing the Treaty of London, and also they were expecting rewards which would be at Versailles, but they only got a very little part of that.
In Italy, the cultural makeup includes Italian people, clusters of German people, and French people. In Italy, the most popular choice of religion was Catholic. In Italy, they believed in holidays, festivals, and dancing because it was an important component of Italy culture. During the time of World War I, having the men be in all the wars left the jobs and factories in need of some help. The women had their time and they stepped in to help. Having the women work in the factories left the children at home, not without a mother or a father to help them out. During World War I, the government had to step in even more than they already had to. They had to take over new jobs and watch over it even more than they thought they ever would. During World War I, Italy had some technology advantages. They had machine guns and airplanes. The machine guns helped because it didn't take as much time as it would to load a cannon or some other weapon like that. They helped us fire and armor faster. The airplanes were one of the biggest help. They helped us transfer from area to area, from station to station. Instead of taking a day and a half, it would take us an hour and a half.